Hey everybody, I'm Jackie, the Sewing Pastor's Wife, and this is Friday Sews, which I am actually recording on a Friday and I'm planning to publish on a Friday. I am so proud of me because it is Friday Sews, which also happens to be created by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. And it is a hashtag that sewists from all over the world use to gather together their videos where we share what's happening in our sewing room, what we're hoping is going to happen in our sewing room, and a little bit about life. And it's just the best thing ever, which I pretty much say every week, but seriously, it's awesome. And Jen is awesome. Not just for creating this, but she actually commented on my last video and reprimanded me. She is such a good leader, and she needed to reprimand me. I needed to hear what she had to say because in my last video, I was not very nice to myself. If I said what I said to myself, if I said it to other people, it would be called bullying. So I'm guessing that I was bullying myself. No, I know I am, not guessing, because I really was very hard on myself about all the mistakes that I made. And I think I said something like, I'll probably just screw that up or something like that. So Jen took me to the woodshed over that. And she said, because she is the creator of hashtag Friday Sews, that she gets to make the rules. And one of those rules is that we are not allowed to say stuff like, I'll just screw that up. We're not allowed to talk down on ourselves. So that's a new rule for Friday Sews. It's a good one. And here's the thing. I'm a pastor's wife, and I have the opportunity and the privilege to meet with women in my church all the time because they need to discuss maybe some life issues, talk through things. And whenever they do, and they start talking down about themselves, not about sewing. Well, I mean, we probably do talk about sewing because everybody knows I sew, but I would say exactly the same thing that Jen said to me. And like, no, we speak life. We do not speak this negative garbage that I was speaking over myself. So yeah, thank you, Jen, for telling me that. And I really had to remind myself that while I was in the sewing room this week. And I would be like, I could tell I was starting to talk to myself just in my own head, sometimes out loud too. Does anybody else talk out loud to themselves? And so anyway, Jen was there like, no, this is against the rules. And you know what? It absolutely is. It's not biblical to speak like that about yourself. And I tell people all the time, do not speak that over yourself when they're speaking negatively. So I need to practice what I preach. So anyway, thank you, Jen. I appreciate you so much. And so I had a better attitude about my sewing this week most of the time. So let me tell you, first of all, what I'm wearing, because it's part of what has been happening in my sewing room, and this is a good deal. So you can probably tell right here that it is not finished. I have not hemmed the sleeves, and I'm glad I didn't, which I'll talk about in a second. And I haven't hemmed the bottom yet. So anyway, however, you will notice that my neckline looks really good. First try. Got it done on the first try. Okay. I would not say that that is any skill of mine. I would just say that it was cut right for the right fabric, the right length, everything. Because, you know, if it's a stretchier fabric, you might need to cut it a different percentage. It's a whole thing. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not arguing about it. My neckline looks amazing. So here's what doesn't look amazing, and I need y'all's help. First of all, I sized down to a medium in this, and it seemed to work with my measurements. I'm not sure about this. I feel like it's pretty tight, and I'm going to try to stand up, and I'm actually going to also put a picture up. I feel like it's real tight right here. I mean, that is that's showing off all my assets. So anyway, I'm not real comfortable with this, but I also hardly ever wear shirts without like a little cover up of some kind of like a kimono type thing, cardigan, whatever. So anyway, I feel like it's pretty tight right here, and I'm gonna put some close-up pictures right here so you can see the whole thing. And y'all let me know what you think. Is it too tight, or am I just paranoid? Whatever. Like I think a large would have been too big. I think the medium though, I might need it. Maybe if I could have cut between the medium and the large, it would have been better. Okay, so also the other thing, I want to ask y'all is, do you see, it doesn't look as bad, I feel like, in this picture as it does in real life. But there's like, it's not smooth right here, okay? It wants to do that. Now, I see on both sides. So I don't know if that is because it is too tight in the arms. I mean, it doesn't feel super tight. It feels a little tight, but not super tight. Is it sewing skill? That might be it too. But anyway, let me know what you think about that. But y'all, look at this neck. Hey, have I mentioned I did this neckline right on the first try? But you know what happened last time I got like this about my neckline? The next one I totally destroyed. So let's just be thankful and humble about it. Okay? All right. So, because I definitely have one that has not gone quite as well. So I've worked on this. I did this last night, and so I didn't get it finished today. The other thing I worked on, and this is what I was working on last week when I was going to make a Friday Sews video, and it just got too late, and I just decided not to because I didn't have it finished. So I am working on, did I say this in the last video? I really need to take better notes. I want to make a Parker 3-tiered dress. I think I did talk about this. The Parker from Styla. I love this dress. It's so cute. So I started it, and I have the bodice done, and I even decided to do the ruffle sleeve. Oh my stars. How cute is that sleeve ruffle? I'm real happy about it. The neckline came out pretty good. I cannot at this point remember how many tries it took me. I don't remember. The top stitching is not stellar. I'm looking at it right now trying to figure out what that is, and I just realized it's my top stitching. It's not awesome. But anyway, it's there, it's done. And so I think I could have done a better job on this neckline, but I'm okay with it. So I've got all the tiers cut out, and I'm struggling with the gathering, getting it even. I don't know. I think I might be giving up too quickly on it and thinking, anyway, I don't know. I'm gonna focus on that, try to focus on that this next week. But anyway, I'm working on that. So that part is done. I'm in love with that ruffle sleeve. Oh yeah, back to this and these sleeves. So every time, this is laundry day tea. I don't think I said that either. I am so scattered, even though I have notes right here. So this is the laundry day tea from Love Notions, which is a free pattern if you sign up for their newsletter. In this, I love this t-shirt. So anyway, I always made the elbow sleeves before. Well, this time I decided to try the short sleeves. And then last night when I put it on, I was like, I don't think I really like the short sleeves. I really wish I'd have made the elbow sleeves. So I was watching Sew Carol this morning before I got started sewing, and she made a t-shirt, and she also said the same thing about sleeves and decided that she was going to make a sleeve band instead, like add a sleeve band to it instead of just hemming it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try to get that done tomorrow. Probably not today, but I'm going to try to get that done tomorrow. So anyway, all right. Am I caught up with myself? All right, so last time I think I talked about the bowl cozy I made. I think this is where I started getting in trouble with Jen. So I learned some stuff from that bowl cozy, and that same day, I may have showed the fabric. I cannot remember at all what I did on my last Friday Sews, but my husband is a big Michigan fan. Go Blue. I don't really give a rip. But anyway, I got him this fabric to make a bowl cozy, and I made a bowl cozy. Don't mind this fuzz stuck to it. But I made him one, and this one came out fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Real proud of it. So anyway, I made this a little bit bigger in hopes that it would hold the popcorn bowl. So anyway, I made that. Very happy about it. It's very easy, and I'm going to make a lot more of these because it's a very satisfying, quick sew. The next thing I made, and I am ridiculously proud of it, I'm just going to tell you right now. I made a project bag for my cross stitch floss. So I made this. Isn't it so cute? I made this from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. I will link that in the description below. She is a floss tuber, and she is amazing at the cross stitch. Oh my goodness, prolific. These people that cross stitch, I don't know how they're doing so much of it because it's slow and they are getting so many things done. But anyway, I made this project bag based on her video tutorial, and I must say, I did a stellar job. I put a zipper in. Now, it could be a little bit straighter, but for my first try, I'm real happy about it. So it's got my cross stitch project in there. It is lined with this cute book fabric. Those are books, like a stack of books. It's lined. It's got padding in it, like some kind of fusible thick interfacing that will protect everything inside. It is a amazing thing. And here's the thing, you can adjust the size of this to anything you want. So you can make anything. I'm gonna make another one for my other cross stitch project that I'm working on, and I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger because this is a bigger project on the other one. But isn't this amazing? I made this. Anyway, I'm really proud of it. I don't know if you can tell. So there's that. And then let's see, have I made anything else? Those are the 4 things I did. So what I purchased, I did buy something last week, a pattern, and I can't remember what it is. And I totally forgot before I sat down. But what I'm really excited about that I bought was, let's see, and the Last Stitch, I think is the YouTuber's name. This book right here, she wrote this book, Fit for Knits. I saw it, I ordered it and got it the next day. And it is, if you are familiar at all with Ahead of the Curve or Cashmerette's book on fitting, it's like that, but it's for knits. And it tells you, it gives you great tips for sewing with knits. It told me some things I did not know about knits, and since I sew with knits a lot, I need to know this stuff. She really shares a lot about different kinds of fabric, different kinds of sewing stitches. Like, she gives you 10 tips on how to cut knits. I did not know that you should cut from the right side. Y'all may already know all this. I did not know that you should cut them as a single layer. Did not know that. Anyway, other stuff in here. But she gives a ton on tops. So, okay, so she shows you like what your problem is. Like, oh, look, there's a fold here. Well, you need to make a small bust adjustment. I do not need to make one. I would have before I gained weight. But anyway, or maybe it's your fabric is folding right here. Well, that's because your armhole is too straight. She tells you, and then she tells you how to fix it, how to make adjustments, if your skirts are too wide at the hips, if your waist is unbalanced. I'll be honest, I don't even know what that means. A low bum adjustment, front crotch is too angled, it'll show you, and I have had this happen before. Yeah. So this book is amazing, and her YouTube channel is really awesome too. So she's so good at, she covers so many very practical tips and teaches you how to do stuff. So I will put that in the show note, not the show notes, because this is not a podcast, in the description below. I also do a podcast, so for pastors' wives, and so I get confused on the terms. So I think that's all that I have to say about what I made, what I bought. So my goals for the next week are to get this finished and to maybe work on the Parker and make another project bag. Because I'll just add this in. This project that I'm working on for cross stitch, I want to get a bag for it. And there's not much to see here right now, but if I turn it this way, I wonder if you can guess what this is going to be. I'll just tell you because it's probably hard to tell. It is going to be a Diet Coke can because I love Diet Coke. And so I have started, this is going to be the C, this is the O. So also stitching white on white, not fun. I wish I had gotten a different color fabric to stitch on. But anyway, it's going to be a Diet Coke can and it is beautiful. But I was watching one of the floss tubers and they were talking about sewing this because like when people think of them, they thought of whatever it was she was cross stitching. And I'm like, well, what do people think of when they think of me? Oh, they think of Diet Coke. So I looked to see if I could find a Diet Coke can or a Diet Coke pattern and I found one. So I bought it and I started that. So that is my other craftiness. I cannot believe this, even before Tiffany from Who's Your Handmaid started talking about crochet. I had already bought crochet needles, and I'm working on teaching myself to crochet, but I have zero to show you right now because it's just me practicing and learning. So I don't have anything yet. And then today, Carol from So Carol was talking about she's going to Florida in this next week or two, and she's taking her cross stitch stuff with her. So anyway, or her crochet stuff. So I'm excited to learn how to crochet because, I don't have enough going on here. Can never have too many hobbies, right? So about me in life, there is nothing to tell. No, you know what? That's not true. Tuesday, me and my granddaughter, Eloise, who's 5, went geocaching, and I taught Eloise about what geocaching is, which if you don't know what it is, let me tell you, it is, I wish I had the description, I put it on my Instagram, but it is so people hide containers. Actually, I think I've talked about this on my channel before. People hide a container, like a little plastic container. It could be a big thing. It could be anything, actually anything. They hide it, and they give you the geocache coordinates on the app, the geocaching app. You have the coordinates, and you have to go find it. And it is really fun. And some of them are very easy, and some of them are super hard. Some of them are puzzles that you have to figure out, and you have to use your brain, and not real good at those. But I picked some easy ones that would be kid-friendly, and she was able to find all 4 of the ones we found. So I will put some pictures in right here. And we had the best time on Tuesday doing that. So that is about all I've done, actually. I mean, I seriously have not done that much. My goodness. And getting ready for Resurrection Sunday at our church, and working on crafty things and watching YouTube videos. That's been my life. So, and that's probably going to basically be what I say from now on anyway. So as far as a verse for today, I don't have a specific verse. I don't think I did last time either, but I am still reading through the chronological Bible, and I am still in Genesis, and I'm just amazed at how God uses people who are so not faithful to him when he is so faithful to us. He never stops being faithful even when his people are unfaithful. And it's just amazing when you read the stories of Abraham and Sarah and Isaac and Jacob, and now I'm in Joseph's story, and Joseph first of all, he's kind of started out very prideful, and through a process of maturing and some situations that happened to him, you're seeing him change and transform into who God created him to be. And you see the purpose of all the heartache in his life and how God used it to save his family. And just, anyway, all these people, though, did all of these things contrary to what the Lord had told them. And God ultimately still remained faithful to them. Now, they had to suffer their consequences often. And wow, there's a lot of stuff. The Genesis is pretty juicy. And it's not G-rated. So there's that. But God is just faithful. And so it was really encouraging to me to see that God uses every single part of my life. Every single part of my story has a place in his story. And so anyway, it's just really encouraging, especially as we're heading into this Holy Week that's coming up, the week between Palm Sunday and Easter's Holy Week, and remembering the incredible sacrifice that God made for us by sending his son, the incredible sacrifice that Jesus made so that we could have a relationship with God, and so that we could know that our eternity is secure in him, and that our life here on earth can also be secure in him. It's just so, so good. So anyway, that is my devotional portion of this, and I am gonna sign off and get my sewing room cleaned up and just veg out the rest of the night. Maybe I'll work on my cross stitch a little bit. But I'd love to hear what y'all are doing. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the sewing question, which Jen put out, was how are you at bobbin chicken? I play bobbin chicken. When I see that it is almost done, I'm like, yeah, I've got enough. There's enough thread on there to finish this. I do it a lot, actually. And so far, right now, I'm doing pretty well. I am winning the bobbin chicken. So I say that and watch what happens. Who knows what's going to happen this week. But how are you at bobbin chicken? First of all, do you risk it? Do you take those chances? And maybe I'm not as risky as I think, because I don't think I've ever run out of bobbin thread. So maybe I'm not taking as many risks as I think I do. But I just know specifically this last week, I was almost out of thread. And I was like, oh, should I change it or not? And I didn't. And it was fine. And I won bobbin chicken. So tell me about your experience. And if you don't have a bobbin chicken story, tell me about what you're sewing. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Also, if you can tell me why my shirt is doing this thing right here, would love to hear that as well. If you have, I don't know what I was going to say right there. I forgot. It's time for me to sign off. Well, y'all have a great week. Happy sewing, everybody.